Hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of A Side Quest. Today we are going to ask each other questions and figure out whether this is an expensive hobby or we are really serious about running this business.
15 foot from each other.
Who did I see then 5 minutes ago?
There must be a mystery man in the house.
We are at a point, I think, where we are hitting a ceiling when it comes to having that growth in our career.
Especially when life is just incredibly expensive these days for everyone.
I love the analogy that you have used, that it has started forming opinions. So let's get started. Hi Jamie.
Hello dear wife, how are you? Feel like I haven't seen you in about 12 hours, despite being a whole 15 foot from each other.
Who did I see then 5 minutes ago?
There must be a mystery man in the house.
I like that mystery man better than I like you at this point.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we'll have a question there. And then we are going to take turns into answering them and digging deeper into it. Okay?
Okay.
This is a new format we are trying, so let's see how it goes. So, do you want to start?
Sure. Question 1. Are we building a business or a lifestyle?
For me, I feel that we are building a business, but to actually achieve what we want to have in terms of lifestyle. We are at a point, I think, where we are hitting a ceiling when it comes to having that growth in our career. And until and unless we build something, I don't think that we would be able to grow and build a kind of a life that we want for each other. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree really. I think it is one of those, we are building a business at the moment for the long term to be in a position where we can be more comfortable as we get older. And be more secure, especially when life is just incredibly expensive these days for everyone.
So what was the thing that actually made you feel like, oh my God, the things have gotten expensive?
I think it was when I went, it's just when you go to the shop and you're like, I'll just pick up like 4 things and it's like £27. You're like, what? I just got bread, some eggs, some milk. But no, it's just when you go to buy a few bits, like you go and buy some snacks, instead of being like under a £5, it's only like 15 quid. It's just...
I remember a time when, we used to go to Morrison's around 5 to 6 years ago. And when we used to spend £40, we used to be like, we spend a lot this week on our groceries. Then it went to £65. And we used to look at our groceries and tell each other, how is this £60? And now I feel that every time I go for a grocery shopping and touch something, it automatically becomes £100.
Yeah, I do remember that one time we went, we bought like a bag's worth of stuff. And we're like, yeah, this will last like 5 days. And it was like £97 or something stupid. And there was nothing special in it.
No, it's like 2 crisps. Like when you go to M&S, and I love M&S product, but it is £4, £5 a bag of crisps, which is astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah, but they are delicious.
Yeah, the truffle one is. Anyhow, here's question number 2, and I'll take it. At this stage of our business, if our business was a human, do they feel reliable, like a child who is matured for the age, or a chaotic, erratic teen? Now that we are almost 2 months in?
I'd probably say it was starting to develop an opinion. For any parents out there, that stage. So it's not quite got to the point where it's telling us what we need to do, if that makes sense. But we're still sort of guiding it, which we probably will be for a fair few months yet, but that's just running a business. It's hectic. It's definitely hectic at the moment. Like, for example, this week, we've both again been really busy with the regular jobs, and we've been trying to plan this for 4 nights now, and we've just been hooked up with other things. How about yourself? What do you feel?
I love the analogy that you have used, that it has started forming opinions, because whenever I look at the data analytics, you start getting an idea, you start seeing what's working, what's not working. It's the same for Laughing Lucky as well. You have started receiving the feedback from the people, really great so far, but products that we were expecting would be like gone, and something else is getting popular, isn't it? I do agree, it doesn't feel like either a child who is matured for the age or chaotic, erratic teen as of now. I think it feels much more like in between, something that has an opinion. You may or may not like it, but you start seeing that it is developing a kind of a personality. You can see how different businesses have different personalities as well, and that's what I feel actually. Not much to add in this.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair though, with the ideas in Pixel bits that you do with your consultancy, that's a much more serious kind of tone to it, isn't it? Like Laughing Larky is more like light-hearted and fun in the product sense rather than what you're actually doing. Because you obviously enjoy what you do with ideas in Pixel, but it's just a different kind of feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. But we do a lot of stuff. Like, for example, we teach product marketeers how they can use AI for their benefits. For example, I see a lot of founders who don't even understand the value of positioning. They think everything that has marketing attached to it is a expense house rather than something that you definitely need. And when it comes to positioning, when it comes to understanding who you're selling and why you're selling, in terms of actually building your value, standing out from your competitors, people think that they will do it once product is built. But if you don't even understand how you're going to stand out, how you're going to inject that into product, what do you feel?
What I've actually found is that everyone seems to have the same problems. It's regardless of what the product or whatever the project is or everything else, it seems to be the same problem, as it were.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, it has a very simple approach. And I'm not going to go into details here because we charge for that, everyone.
Yeah.
Go find us. It's very interesting to see across different, so whether you've got tech industry or you've got something towards marketing or, whatever variation, the problems seem to be very similar. It just takes a switch in mindset, kind of loosely put, to actually get around that. But it depends on the people you're working with.
Yes. I just wanted to add that it is so true that we see founders or other startups making the same mistake. And you focus a lot on just the product development without understanding whether there is a demand in market or not. I have seen all the founders, all the startups do same mistakes again and again and not learn from it. Otherwise, if you don't have your positioning, if you don't have your ICP, if you don't have a clear understanding of what you're selling and how it is different, you're not going to nail the market. It is way too saturated. Like, people think that their idea is the unique. It's not. There are hundreds and thousands of other products giving the exactly or even better solution than what you're building. So yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's the same thing. It's teaching everyone to stop falling in love with their idea and move on and do the right thing.
Yeah, I also tend to find that a lot of businesses kind of seem to have developed a bit like a giraffe has evolved. So I imagine a giraffe was not born with an exceptionally long neck. And obviously over time, due to nature, it's had to grow a long neck in order to learn how to survive and get to food that other creatures couldn't. However, is it an efficient animal? No. Everything's in the wrong place, but it just works. A bit like coding, but like the business, if you looked at it and started again, you would never design it like that. You'd do something different.
It's a great analogy. I think I'm going to use that in my next client's meeting when I have to convince them to think differently.
Yeah, the only thing I do say is that if they do start headbutting each other, I have nothing to do with that.
I'll add that as well as a disclaimer. So now we are going for question number 3.
Okay, question 3. What part of our work looks impressive but is actually nonsense? Apart from me.
Everything Jamie does, actually, if I may say so. Including even when he's making sense, I like calling it nonsense. Having a lot of subscription, that is one thing that I have seen people admire, and we have actively reduced the number of unwanted subscription you have. Don't gather the tool. Gathering and building tech stack people looks impressive on the outside, but it is actually nonsense, especially if you're in service industries. Be very careful of how you build your tech stack. Add the tools that's only necessary. Otherwise, learn how to, repurpose or make do with the least possible amount of expenses there is, especially when you're starting out in your business.
Yeah, I'd even go as far as to say if you do need a certain feature that is premium, just pay a one-off fee. It's just for 1 month subscription, or you have to pay 6 months worth. Just do that. Don't have it sitting, not being used. Every purchase in the business needs to earn its money back, one way or another.
Yeah, true. So now, on to question number 4. Do we have a strategy or we are just winging it?
I would say you definitely have a long-term strategy. I think winging it's probably the wrong term, but I do have an idea, but I don't always write it down. And then you're always a bit confused going, Jamie, what are you doing today? Which I appreciate can be frustrating at times, but that's just because we're a bit different, isn't it? But no, it's on a serious note, we do have a strategy. We've got a 2 5-year strategy. We do know what we're doing. long term. Short to mid, there is an aspect of winging it, being honest, because you kind of have to, because as we've already said, the brand is starting to develop its own opinions in places we didn't necessarily think it was going to. So pivoting rather than winging it is probably a better term. But yeah, how do you feel about it?
Actually feel that we have a very set goals when it comes to short term. So we have a very solid short term goals, or at least an understanding of where we want to reach and what's worth our time and money. Because at the end of the day, we are time poor. We don't have sufficient time to get things done. So we want to do that.
Yeah, and having witnessed and obviously not been part of, but experienced some of the companies you work with, I would definitely say it's better to run lean, just from an operational point of view, not necessarily. The ones that run lean seem to run better than the ones that have too much going on, because there's just too much red tape, even from that point of view. And there's also too many voices. It's good to get another opinion, but when there's too many voices, it just gets lost.
Not just that, since we both work in tech, it's very clear to us that the time of free money or the very low interest rate money is gone. We have become myopic in terms of return. We want return instantly, but the cheap money or cheaper investment has also fizzled out. The interest rates are high. So it's better to have a strategy and run with it rather than not have anything. So, question number 5. If we swapped roles for a week, would the company survive?
Yes. Screaming.
You don't sound very confident.
No, on a serious note, it would do. I think for a week it'd be fine.
How long is it going to take for it to break?
The one issue would be is that my artistic skills go as far as stickmen. So one big falling point would be if we suddenly needed new products and new designs. Hey, maybe stickmen will sell. Who knows? But no, in terms of our brand and the way it looks and kind of the characters we have, I think day-to-day stuff we'd be okay, be fine. But when it came down to the more specialist areas that you do, it would all fall apart quite quickly.
You're speaking about Laughing Lucky. What about ideas and Pixel and podcasts that we do?
Well, if we swapped on the podcast, that would be fine to a certain extent, because it's just learning how to edit on this software that we're using, isn't it?
And also doing the research about the topics.
Oh, I do loads of research, you know that.
A lot. There's no sarcasm involved. If anyone can pick it in podcasts, just listening to us. No sarcasm at all. Jamie researches a lot.
Tons, all day.
Yeah, that's why he's very busy. Me, on the other hand, people, I cannot do what Jamie does, which is have patience for social media. I think I have mentioned this in every episode. Jamie makes the videos, whatever the videos, good, bad, ugly.
Yeah, I do. It is quite draining at times.
Yeah, it's not fun. I think that's a different set of skills that younger generation has today because they are born and brought up in the era of social media. And I feel that, our 78-year-old neighbor, who is amazing, by the way, is better at social media or, dealing with social media or engaging in social media than I am.
I mean, to be fair, even my dad's very active on social media, isn't he?
Yeah.
With the dogs. So he probably knows more than we do, to be fair.
Yeah, he's quite active. Yeah. So that's about if we were to swap our jobs. So now let's go to our other question. Question number 6. What tiny thing makes us feel like a proper business owners?
But funnily enough, because obviously the company's registered, it's getting the mail in the post. As sad as it sounds, it's like, oh, I've definitely got a business because I'm getting a lot more junk mail now, which has my name and your name and the company name on. It's just checking in with shops. It's not because you want to buy something, it's going, oh, have we sold something?
Yeah. True.
Like, have we sold anything today?
When managing the inventory.
Yeah. And then depending on where it is in the country, we go, can you just show us our shelf quickly, please? Or our display that we've previously set up. Yeah. It's just all the little extra bits we have to do.
For me, it is a very strange thing. You will find it very funny. Whenever people actually buy bundles, we have a special box for them. And every time I pack that box, for some reason, I feel like I have made it in life. I don't know why. I feel so proud of myself.
Yeah, on those boxes. It's quite funny that our two different approaches to those, isn't it? You really enjoy it, you take great pride in it, and so do I to a certain extent. But I just spend more time staring at the folds with the cardboard going, if you don't sit in properly, I'm going to scream. So, next question. If our business had a dating profile, what would its red flags be?
I think the earliest red flag would be how sporadic we have been in social media, especially for Laughing Lucky, because I started a long time back. Then we didn't post for a long time because we were getting our shops ready, website ready. So that sporadic may make it look flaky. And for SideQuest, not having too much of a history might be a problem. It may come across as a very inexperienced fun. And for Ideas in Pixel, since I'm busy with the projects and I don't post much in social media or get time to, not posting in social media might be the biggest red flag. Like, who is this dinosaur? I have a list. So right now our focus is paying clients, right? And getting, good words and good income out there. So I think that's what had to give, is what I would say. I know what could be another red flag for Laughing Lucky.
Me?
No, the terrible videos that you take. And TikTok keeps on flagging every time Jamie stitches couple of images together and animates them into video. That's a red flag.
TikTok and me do have discussions regularly in the afternoon about what is a still image.
A lot of arguments.
Yeah, I do like to think TikTok now, because it used to be pretty quick at flagging them. It seems to wait until like 3 a.m. now, so it knows I'll be sleeping.
That's another question. If, our businesses were obviously in dating sites, will it be Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, or Grind?
Not a question I ever thought I'd be asked, to be honest. But hey, could be anywhere. No, but it's not limited to... We don't target a specific market on that front, do we? We just like creating fun, light-hearted products that we think people will like. Therefore, I would say it's very colourful, so it's probably not going to generally go towards goths.
I really think Laughing Lucky would be in every dating site where there is fun. And good fun, whenever or wherever that is. I think Lucky would be there. For Ideas in Pixel, it would only be in LinkedIn. And I think for SideQuest, I think it would be maybe Reddit. Might be another place if I were to choose, not specifically dating profile, but these were the social media profile personalities that they will have, because SideQuest is kind of opinionated. Like, at least it has our unfiltered opinions out there. So yeah.
Yeah, true. And on that note, subscribe and like, do all those things. So, next question. If a documentary crew followed us, what would shock them?
Amount of time we don't have. I think, like, on a surface, we look like we have it all under control. We have just started, but we are time poor. And I think that would be the most shocking thing that we have. What do you think is going to shock them?
Probably how much I talk to one of our cats. Normally sits just next to me here all day, attends most meetings. They'll probably think, oh, we're actually just recording a mental breakdown here.
Yeah, I think that would be shocking, actually, how much our pets influence our product decisions.
Yeah. I think what they'll also be shocked is how much time we do actually spend at our desks working.
How much we don't see each other. So
yeah, I think anyone who's worked with me would probably understand how you feel. I think people do tend to tone me out, just ignore me.
They don't. People who actually work with you are really lucky, because you take a lot off my plate, and I'm so glad you're on my team. You keep track of everything that you're doing. Your project management skills are really good. Like, I think Prince 2 people need to learn from you rather than giving away the certification.
I could start a whole separate rant on Prince 2 and some of the other philosophies, but we'll save that for another time.
Now to question number 9, which is, what is one task we both hate?
Secretly. Generally speaking, in life or business-wise?
Yeah, I think you can talk about both.
Laundry. I just hate doing laundry at the moment. I don't know why. It's not an event. It's just laundry. It's throw it in, turn it on, leave it for 3 hours.
And what about the work?
At the moment, in the main job, kind of getting very annoyed with the limitations of the project management software that we use, because even behind a paywall, it still won't do what I wanted to do, despite the false advertising. And at times I just think, you know what, I could just build all this in Excel and it would work better. Maybe I should do that and sell it as software. Anyway, but no, in terms of everything else, it's just a love-hate thing with social media. Generally speaking, it's just a love kind of hate thing with social media.
I don't think My relationship with social media is a secret. I think everyone knows that I'm not a big fan of doing the social media, though I love doom scrolling. One task that I actually not love doing is being dragged into multiple projects at the same time sometimes, because I think it stretches me thin. It's part and parcel of my job. I have to focus on one thing and get one thing done, and get one thing done very well. I feel that, answering emails or doing this, doing that actually takes away from my focus a lot. So I don't usually enjoy it. Another thing on a lighter note, I absolutely don't like, and I don't know why, is breaking boxes. And Jamie can tell you about them. I feel so overwhelmed by it. Like the whole, thing about deconstructing a box. I don't know why. It's even when I'm talking about it, it is triggering me.
So when for everyone listening, so when she sends boxes, what she means is like an Amazon delivery or a parcel that arrives.
I'm like, can you please do it? And I even bought him tools, by the way, to help him out. Because
Yeah, he did buy me tools. I was outside on the drive, just angrily standing on cardboard, and our neighbours walked past going, "You're right, Jamie." I'm like, "Yep, yeah, I'm fine."
But it was not in winter, people. If you're feeling sorry for Jamie, it was cooler outside than it was inside because it was summer months. Jamie is fine. You don't have to worry about him. He uses beer as his bargaining chips. So if I want to get anything done, I have to bribe him with beer, which, I have also started doing it. So if he wants me to, give him an evening, especially on his gaming nights, he needs to bribe me too. So yeah, it's a win-win situation. That's how the partnerships actually work properly. Secret of partnerships, bribes.
Another question. Who takes work more personally?
We both do in different aspects. I think I'm much more scheduled and serious about it. And you're more, oh, I forgot about it. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow kind of person. But when it comes to your 9 to 5 job, oh my God, he's serious, okay? You can't budge Jamie like he is on top of his game. I think I can slowly see you getting more serious. You have never done it before. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, and it's not easy to jump just because your partner says we need to jump here, right? You also need to see the results happening. You also need to see what you're getting into. This last 60 days, I think, have shown you what you're getting into a little bit. But for now, I would say I take it, rather than more personally, more seriously. I have much more to lose, I think. I have a lot more to prove as well. So, yeah. What about you? Do you think I'm right?
You always have something to prove to yourself. Stuck a tongue out at me for those listening. But I think in terms of me, I think sometimes it's more the way I come across that I'm not taking it seriously. Some think this is a business critical emergency. Okay, fine. It's important and needs sorting, don't get me wrong, but because of the other industries that I've come from, an emergency is when someone's hurt themselves or something has been a mental health issue or something along those lines. So my scale of emergency compared to the majority of people in the industry I'm in is a bit broader. So it's not like I don't take it seriously. It's just I'm not going to start panicking and sweating because a customer's upset over something that hasn't gone to plan. I'm just quite constant and stable and will give them confidence in knowing that things go wrong. Jamie's got it.
I agree that when it comes to your work, like 9 to 5 work, you're completely different. You're much more dependable. You take it really seriously. However, when it comes to business, it's a different story. And you do actually not take me seriously at times because I really have to be like, I'm not liking that you're not being consistent or whatever the conversation is at that point. I do think that you don't take it seriously when I say it. And you applying the same logic in business where you don't think anything might be an emergency. I think that you need to take a step back and think about being adaptable because every business has a different level of emergency and urgency, and we are so small right now that even a small problem can have a very big impact down the line. So that is my take. Agree, disagree?
I know where you're coming from, and I do have a slightly aloof kind of approach to things at times, which I think probably actually infuriates you. But it's not because I'm not taking it seriously or personally. It's just when I stop doing my 9 to 5, I switch modes and then swap back into just me being me. Being perfectly honest, I think if I was in my 9 to 5 mode all day, you'd divorce me very quickly.
So, yeah, it could be. Like, I would not want that serious of a Jamie. I also know that if you want to be on top of your game, you're way better. I think that's what annoys me. But I also understand the fact that you want to take a break because you're the one. When it comes to being consistent about posting things, creating things, you're far more consistent than I am. I'm good at researching. I'm good at delivering at the end. But consistency is something that you're far better than I am. Even keeping us on schedule when it comes to creating podcast episodes, you're much better. Making sure that you post every day, even though I have to remind you, but it gets done. But I remind you and I forget myself.
A lot of the times when you remind me, like today, for example, you're like, have you posted? It wasn't because I wasn't going to do it. It was just because I had a long list of things to do and I was working my way through it.
Yeah, so this is, I think, where our different style comes in, because I look at the ideal time for you to post and I try to stick to it and I remind you, hey, have you already posted in that time? And you posted just to tick a box. That's where my side of calling out comes to Jamie. Jamie does call me out every time I slack off and say, can we not actually shoot the podcast today? And he would be like, if you're not going to get it out, it's not going to come out on time. So that's there.
I mean, with the posting timings thing, there's an ideal time to post every day. That's no secret to anyone. And at the start of my day, I was like, right, I'm going to post in that time frame. And the second in my brain that I go, right, I've got 30 minutes, I have to suddenly jump into something. So it's just one of those things where something just happens, but that is just running a business.
I just want to ask you, what do you call me out on? Is there anything that you want to call me out on and I'm not aware?
Not really. You've already touched on it. What I do call you out on is when we're doing recordings, because we don't want to be in a situation where it's a Wednesday evening and we want to post on a Thursday.
Wednesday itself.
There's no point saying on some advertising, new podcast every Thursday. And then sometimes it's a Friday, sometimes it's a Wednesday, sometimes it's a Sunday.
It's always Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, the point being is about being consistent.
That takes us to our another question.
Okay. So if the could talk, what would it complain about?
Time, resource that it needs. I think at this time it wants to grow. And I think that's what it would complain about. I think it needs a little bit more attention, but we are giving it as best as we could.
I would agree. We do give it a lot of time, all three of them, to be fair. Yeah. I think what it would probably complain about, I would say it's ambitious, so it's probably always going, well, I'll do more, this, that and the other. But I wouldn't say financially restricted to a certain extent. It's more investment, because we don't just want to go, oh, here's 1,000 products, let's hope something works.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Can't think of a counter. I'm sure there's a funny one.
Jamie has no comebacks, by the way.
Well, no. As you can probably imagine, it's getting late in the evening now, so my brain is going, and it's bedtime.
I don't think so, Jamie. It's not even 7, 8
I did cook a lovely dinner for us this evening, and unfortunately it was quite heavy.
So, with that attitude, we have another question ready. The question number 12. What do our friends think we do versus what we actually do?
The close friends know we do actually work really quite hard. I think they just see us just being busy rather than what we're actually doing. Like some of my kind of, well, they are our friends, but one of them in particular, Matt, I'll say his name to be fair to him, does ask a lot about what we're doing, so he's got a general idea.
He's also one person who gives feedback. He was one of our early customer for Laughing Latte as well. And one thing about Matt, you can always expect really good set of feedback from him, genuine constructive feedback, and we try to implement it and improve on it. He goes through our podcast and hour-long episodes every week just to give us feedback, which is really sweet, actually. Thank you, Matt. If you listen to this podcast.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's like the meme, like what they think we do and what we actually do.
I think they do, because I would not say close friends, but we are also very close to our neighbors as well, and they do think we're like some kind of influencer, upcoming influencers and hustlers, and we are building the side hustles and everything. And one of them, our old neighbor, she thinks that we are unnecessarily avoiding her, because we used to go for tea every other day. And these days we have been like so busy, we just text her if she's all right and everything. And she thinks that, why are you guys so busy suddenly? you guys have forgotten me and everything. Mom and dad, especially dad, thinks that we are very busy. He's also sad that we don't have time to visit him often. Dad, if you're listening, you really need to spare some time, especially for me. We can exclude Jamie and go out for dinner, just you and me. I think they do take it seriously, except for my mom. My mom thinks I only ask her one question: when is it going to work? She's not even in the same country, by the way. She lives in Nepal. I ask the same thing with Jamie. Jamie ignores. He doesn't listen to me. Yeah, my mom, she doesn't know what I exactly do. So today she was panicking. She told me, AI is taking all the jobs, especially for the people in the tech. You work in tech, so what's happening? Because she heard the news that a lot of businesses, outsourcing has closed in India and everything. I said that's a completely different thing. I work in tech, yes, but I also work in a company that works very actively into building AI as an asset. But my mom, she was like, it's going down the drains and you're living there. You guys need to move back to Nepal. But she is very supportive. She always was like, do you want me to contribute towards building a website? Or how can I contribute? She has always been someone that we always think about as our seed investor.
Yeah, she's very sweet, and she does want us to do well. But what I will say about your mum, if there's even the lightest of whiffs, smells that she could encourage you to come back to Nepal, she leaps all over it.
Yeah, she does want us to move back. That takes us to the question, very lucky number 13. Is running this, by this I mean business, harder than you thought, or is it easier? Ooh.
So, in terms of what I thought we'd actually be doing, it's kind of about 90% there. There are bits that I didn't quite realise that we'd be doing, or what we needed to do. It's not easy, but it's predominantly time consuming. It's also the tiredness you get sometimes. It's just there's the mental tiredness that comes with it, and this is obviously a very modern problem. Staring a lot at the computer screen.
Yeah.
Is it the same, or is it more difficult, or is it just different because I'm involved?
I would not say it's easier or harder, but it is very time consuming and it requires a lot of effort and sincerity. But I always tell myself that good things in life, you always have to work hard for it, right? Even when we are working, trying to make this marriage work, it's a hard work. It takes an effort from both of us to make it a really good relationship that we already have. So I think that everything that's beautiful requires effort, and more than whether it's hard or easy, it is full of persistent will to make it work. That's what it requires.
Yeah, and just a little pro tip onto a successful marriage. Separate bathrooms. If you haven't had separate bathrooms in a relationship before, try and do it, because you will notice a world of difference.
Oh, yes. It saves you time, it saves you a lot of argument, and for all the ladies out there, it also saves a ton of your expensive skincare and shampoos, because men don't understand how expensive it is. They use it like a flowing river.
It takes great effort to keep looking this youthful.
Very youthful.
And what tiny win makes us feel hopeful about the business?
Every little order, every little view, it might not mean anything, but any simple thing that you do, it actually encourages us, because it gives us a hope for tomorrow that, hey, okay, this is going well. I want to carry on. So at this time, every drop counts.
Yeah, for me, it's when you look at the stats for like shop visits and social media visits, to be fair. Like, we're more popular on TikTok than we are on Instagram and Facebook. In terms
we
of
are more popular on YouTube, strangely.
Yeah, I know, but just for the example I'm going to use, when we first started on TikTok, for example, we would get like 40 views, but now we're regularly getting hundreds, and that's without boosting or anything else, which is good, and it's just slowly growing every week, and that's healthy, so that kind of gives me confidence. Yeah, I do believe you're currently trying to find something on YouTube.
YouTube Stack, we opened like almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days ago, people. We have 303 followers, finger crossed. We had a really good run in YouTube, didn't expect it to be. It has been so encouraging for us. But yeah, those are the wins that we can actually count on.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and that leads us to the last question. If this all ended tomorrow, will we be relieved or heartbroken?
Depends on the way it ends. Ending doesn't have to be a negative.
Wow, nice.
Comes in and offers us 54 millions tomorrow. We're not going to go, nah, you keep that.
Yeah. I would want to see it in a proper finish line. With that, yeah, you want to add something?
No, I just want to, for the ones watching on YouTube, a visual treat, if you were. Don't worry, it's safe-ish. So my darling wife bought me a new light, which needs to go up on the wall. I haven't done it for a week yet.
It is so cute.
Look at this. Oh, yes. No expense was spared.
None.
For those listening, it was a neon cat where the butthole is quite prevalent.
Yeah, these are the kind of conversation I really want to have in my podcast. It's just cat being cat for everyone to get a context, and it represents Jamie's personality so well. That's how he actually behaves most of the time. And I think to round up the question number 15, we don't want it to end tomorrow. That's it. Unless, like Jamie said, it's 54 millions, then yeah, anyone wanting to buy 3 little businesses for 54 million, contact us.
Being honest, even then, I think you'd still hold on to some power in that.
It depends. It depends on what you bribe me with. Any vacations, I may take it. Who knows?
Well, we all need hobbies.
Yes, we do. My hobby is just not dealing with Jamie. With that note, we can conclude this. Take care of yourself and see you next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It
Definitely
is
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Definitely Wednesday. Bye.